So when we have a Wednesday benchmark and you have to do it all by yourself, you'll click the link and then click See Inside. There will always be the top comment yellow block that will tell you what I want you to do. So this one says add event hats to each one of these blocks. And by these blocks, I mean all of these little blocks floating around here. So you learned about what an event is today. And an event tells the computer when to do something. So all of these are commands. They tell the computer what to do. What should I do? Glide. What should I do? Go to this position. What should I do? Point in this direction. What should I do? Say blah, blah, blah. So we need to tell the computer when to do these things because a computer can't just decide on its own. So it says add event hats. So if I look on the left-hand side, the yellow one, the yellow category is events. But there's another message below. It says don't use receive message or broadcast blocks. Receive message, receive. When I receive this message and broadcast, and these two are broadcast. So I can't use these three. We're going to learn about them on another date. But I can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they have different drop downs, so it's actually kind of like more than 5. Okay, so glide 1 second to a random position. So I could say that when this sprite is clicked, it will glide 1 second. So whenever you connect one, test it. So every time I click it, it just goes somewhere else on the screen to a random X and a random Y. So right now the X is 130 and the Y is 110. If I click it, now the X is negative 153 and the Y is negative 34. If I click it again, now the X is negative 189, but the Y is a positive number, it's 43. And you could play with that. So if I put numbers in here, I don't want you to change them. Right, so these already had settings, so don't change them. So now this block and this block, they're to the right of these, and this says reset block. That means that when I restart the game, I want it to go to a certain spot. So I'm going to put the green flag. When it's clicked, it always starts at the center. So I can click all the way around. But if I restart the game, it always starts in the center. Let's take a look at the next one. I did not put a turn degrees in. So that means you can decide how many degrees it turns. So when do you want it to turn? Well, maybe I want it to turn when a certain button is clicked. And I could change this to say maybe the A key. And I could put in a degrees, either negative or positive. Try both, see what happens. So if I hit A now, it's going forward with that negative number. What if I just put 44 and it's not negative? Now if I hit the A key, it's going this way. It's going the same way as that arrow right here on the turn. So that's changing it by this much, but if I put a negative 44 and I hit A, it's going to go the other way. What if I put a smaller number? 1. What if I put a really big number? So this whole project is for you to experiment on. Now, I have another reset block here, which means that when the flag is clicked, right, I want it to point upright. Because if you don't have this block, let me just separate it, and I'll put this back to, let's say, 20. And I hit the game to start again. Now it's looking like this, and I don't want it leaning back. But if I connect them, whenever a player restarts the game, the sprite will look how I want it to look like from the beginning. These two blocks don't have a reset, okay? So you're going to type in here what you want it to say. Let's make sure it's appropriate. And then for how long it will stay on the screen. Do a small number like 1, 2, or 3. Anything bigger than 3 seconds will take too long. If you say something shorter, you don't need it to stay on the screen for 3 seconds. So a small thing can stay on for shorter. Make sure you can read it. And don't forget to attach one of these keys to it. one of these event hats. Okay, moving on, change size, we'll change the size, so I want you to experiment with putting this on. If it asks you to use your microphone, say allow. And this one has a bum bum. This one does have a reset block, so it can go back to normal size. You could also change this to a timer, but we don't have a timer, so don't use this one today. Let me detach that for now, or the Sprite Cat's going to keep growing. We have a color block and a reset. So remember, any of our reset blocks get the flag. And you could change this to all types of different things. So play with that, and you could tell me about your favorite one. Show and hide. So whenever you use a show block, you also have to have a hide block, because maybe not when this is clicked. I'll do when the space key is clicked. So let's say I click the space key. Now I can never get my sprite back, no matter how many times. There's nothing I can do. So I always want to have, when I hide something, it has to be able to be shown again. And then add something to this, and you can play with changing these numbers. When you're done playing with all this, what I want you to do is create a screen recording for me, about 30 seconds, to just show off some of the things you did, and tell me anything you noticed, or maybe your favorite block that you used, and then you'll submit that on Schoology. If you don't know how to take a screen recording, there's a video inside the Schoology assignment to show you how. And if it doesn't work for some reason, just take a screenshot and I'll help you fix it so you can resubmit the video. Bye.